But I've already gotten most of them.
He will destroy both myself and you, just as he destroyed the other ages of MYST. I never will escape. To release me, you must simply bring the red page. And I will tell you the story that I know. Your wisdom will see that I am innocent and he is guilty. This forgotten island long.
Exactly, not that long ago.
I will owe you my life, and you will be greatly rewarded.
Alright. So he's still trying to blame everything on Akinar. And I bet you Akinar's trying to do the same for Cirrus. But let's see.
Oh, my friend. Thank you for bringing the blue pages. Listen. Convinced that Cirrus is guilty. Do not release him. Will destroy me. Just the innocent bystander have been wrongfully tricked into imprisonment. Confident you have observed his unbridled lust for riches. 4 remaining worlds. Some plot was almost perfect. Blow to father. He tricked him into believing that it was I who was the murderer. I did not murder father. Bring me the remaining blue pages, please. A liar. A fool and a liar. Be freed, or there will blue pages from the last age of MYST. I must be freed. He must free me. I cannot bear it here for eternity. Free me. Pages.
Alright. So yep, he's pretty much saying the same thing. So now, let us ignore that for the moment and check out the Selenitic Age of MYST, the journal. It has been a while since I have heard only silence, and I enjoy it greatly, I think. For some reason, I do not feel altogether welcome in this new world in which I have arrived. But how could I be unwelcome in an age with no inhabitants? It is, of course, only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think I have yet to ever write in a journal that an age I have linked to as a horrid or disgusting. From the grassy hill where I am standing, I can see green fields below, along with a few scattered forests. A rather large lake looms some distance from where I am standing, yet the water's blue can be seen plainly from here. The air is fresh and the sky is sparkled with white clouds. It is absolutely breathtaking, and yet that strange feeling again. Perhaps it is the hot breeze that continues to blow from the north. Hotter than I would have imagined, it almost singes my skin, and I feel quite uncomfortable when it comes. Excuse me. I will try to ignore it. Night has almost arrived, and the sunset is spectacular. Oranges and reds have settled above the western horizon. Though night has come, the horizon still glows red long past the sunset. Dark reds flow from the horizon and blend into the black sky. Again the feeling, and I'm beginning to believe it is not all in my mind. I must sleep now. I will need my strength to explore more tomorrow. I have had to return home due to an unpredictable natural occurrence more frightening than I have ever experienced. I was awakened by terrible shakings in the ground and explosions on all sides of me. Gigantic balls of fire were falling from the sky, and I immediately left in fear of my life. I must remember to bring a MYST linking book with me when I return, in case the one I left here has been damaged or destroyed. I have returned to a different world than the one I left only 3 months ago. It has been transformed into a barren desert land, with only gigantic craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely enough, the small grassy hill where I spent my first night remains exactly the way I found it. Apparently, the falling meteors did not hit this area, leaving an oasis in the midst of this horrible desolation. The hot wind, I remember, has turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw on my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume one of the falling meteors created this lake due to its circular shape and the jutting rock that grows out of the center of the lake. The rest of this world seems like desert, although I will verify that statement with closer inspection. Though this world has little visual excitement to offer, it offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I have found where a few of them originate. It seems, as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. Last night I was awakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating, and the heat was so intense that I immediately dipped my head in a nearby stream to cool it down. The hot breezes had returned, along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly, the ground began to crack, and a huge chasm opened. The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross. Then the tumult subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, I can use the chasm to my advantage. Perhaps the heat from the chasm can be harnessed. So, yeah, basically geothermal energy production. Even as the chasm has ripped into the surface of this world, it has opened up a whole new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that had been created, and have now explored deep into the crust of this planet. I have found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map and explore. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. This age seems to change on its own, so I feel I should leave again and see if things are different when I return. It is also important that I check on Sirius and Akinar and make sure everything is going along well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw materials here is beginning to amaze me. I have returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return from far more basic materials, however. It seems as though I will be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, but I have also found titanium occurring naturally. I am all the more excited to begin work. Everything is set and I look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here. I think I will be able to have most of my additions to this age completed within 1 year. I still love working with my hands, whether writing or building. I began today on the bridge, and although the magnetic idea will work well, and I've decided to, picture of a compass, picture of what looks like a radio dish. 3 meters is not enough support for the beams, although it's somewhat fades too much to read. Amazingly strong. So we have the rocket ship. Has to be one of my most prized inventions. Could never have imagined it to come together quite as, I doubt, could possibly work with 14 instead of 8. Completely fatigued, I am so happy to have completed tomorrow. I am leaving today in order to bring Sirius and Akinar. I have left them alone in Channelwood. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see here. The age seems to have stabilized. I believe the meteor set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the shallow crust, but the tremors have become few. I have just noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I have copied many of my construction notes into another journal. I do not understand the mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to my questions. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age to which I hope to travel soon. But for now, I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. And now we have something I'm going to have to take a picture of, because I cannot just write that down. This is another clue, a very important clue. Alright. So I got that written down, and we've got our map of the Selenitic Age. And that is it. Let's make sure the tower is rotated, because I'm not sure I did that. So yes, as you may have gathered from the journal, the rocket ship is the location of the book this time. Alright, so let's go find our key and take a look at where the book actually is. See what it looks like from the top of the tower. So this is the one age that I don't think was fully plundered by Sirius and Akinar. It's a wealth of raw materials, but not really anything of note. So we got 41 volts. No inhabitants to enslave, no riches beyond the materials themselves. So I don't think they really had much interest in it. So yeah, the rocket ship. And that's why there is actually no specific themed areas to Cirrus and Akinar in Selenitic. In fact, their pages are just laying out in the open, as you'll soon see. So we got 41 volts is our key. That is our clue. So we gotta figure out where to use that. Well, how about the one building we have yet to actually go in? And that would be this little station here. Go all the way down to the bottom, and we find a door. Beyond the door are the generators for the island. Alright, so now, and this tells us, you know, power to ship. Basically, we want to create exactly 41 volts because we do not want to overpower, or it will reset things. Like, I'll show you. There we go. We overpowered it. Got up to 46 volts. So if we turn these back off, now we have to go reset it. So we got to get back up here. And follow the power lines. And there's one here. There we go. That's one breaker set. Honestly, I don't know if you have to do both of them. But there's two different breakers here. There we go. Now that's reset. So let's go back down and let's actually do this puzzle. Can't just brute force your way into an answer. Not very easily, at least. Instead, what you need to do is figure out which buttons you need to press, because each button delivers a different number of charges. So the first one is 10. So 10. Okay, turn that off. We've got 7. 8. 16. 5. 9. 19. 22. 2. And 1. We need to figure out the correct combination that gets us up to 41 and no higher. And I think I know it. So 1, 22, and 9. There we go, 41. And that powers up the ship, which should let us inside. I'm not sure if we could get inside earlier or not, but at least the stuff inside it should definitely be powered. Alright, so off to the ship. You can hear the hum of the power, too. Alright, into the ship. So now we have a piano, and we have this. So now we gotta figure out what we need. Okay, so taking a look at that, we've got one is here. What you actually have to do is match the tones to here, and it's a lot tougher if you're tone deaf, or if you struggle reproducing tones. However, the easiest way to do it is to count the steps. So this is button 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So step 19. Then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for 2. No, sorry, that's 3. That's 3 is 11. 2 is 11, 12, 13, 14. And then 4 is 15, 16. And then 18. So the reason we're counting those steps is because down here you have different steps, different notches, and even the notches here correspond to the keys, where you have the black keys on the right, white keys on the left. So let's go up to 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And then 14, go up to 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Then 11, so that's 14, 13, 12, 11. And 16. So 14, 15, 16. And then 18. So that should be the correct one. And this is another one that makes a heck of a lot more sense in this remake. In past versions, the book just kind of appeared on a digital screen, and you hit that to actually warp to the Selenitic Age. Here, it's just hidden behind a panel, and we get to actually go there. And this is another area that's like completely different in terms of vibe from the past versions. Okay, of course we pop into a replication of the thingamabob, the rocket ship. Yeah, different vibe here. Everything's all blue and it's covered in mist and stuff like that. And I think it's nighttime even. Alright, so now the way to the Mist book is through here, but we need to find the combination here. And it's all sound-based. It's all different sounds. So let's start exploring here. Figuring out where everything is. Follow the paths. So we've got kind of a babbling brook here. And we've got the blue page just sitting out here. And there's a microphone above it. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Alright, so that is the Babbling Brook. God, this place is gorgeous. And you really do feel like you're there when you're in VR, too. Alright, so here we have a fissure. Alright. The chasm, the fissure. There's nothing off that direction. Okay, we have a clock. Now, I was right. This is the clock that the model is based off of in Mechanical Age. It's based off of from the Selenitic Age. Alright, so this direction, we have our red page. And we also have the crystals. The singing crystals. Alright, but that's not it. Up here, we have the rushing wind. And then we have a ladder here. Let's go down that. Alright, let's go ahead and hit the lights so we can see where we're going. And of course, there's bats. Up we go. So that should be all of the microphones, I think. I think that's all the stations. Because what we have to do now is tune the radios. Here, actually, if we back out, you can see all this radio tower. We have to tune it. Alright, so let's find the water. No, that's the crystals. We gotta find the water. What's that one? That's the clock. Water should be about here-ish. No? Maybe further? There we go. There's the water. Alright, now the fissure. is right next to the water. There's crystals, clock, and there's the fissure. Alright, and now we gotta tune for the clock. There we go. Now tune for the crystals. We're actually not that far off here. There we go. Now tune for the wind. Alright, I think that's... No, that's the fissure. I was gonna say, I think that's the wind, but that's the fissure. There's the wind. Okay, so with that done, we click the Sigma button, or the Sum button here, and that will tell us the combination we actually need. So wind... Wait. These things aren't lighting up correctly. Okay, clock is end. Clock is the end. Okay, so wind, crystal, fissure, water, clock. Water, fissure, crystal. Okay. I have that written down now. So now we gotta go back. Oh, it's just because it was hiding around the corner. I'm like, why is it still so dark? Alright, up we go. And yeah, you can see there was more, but it was destroyed. And Brothers might have actually done that. Alright, so let's go input the combination. There's a whole bunch of sounds on here that we don't have, too. Alright, so the first one should be the wind. That's water. That's a fissure. There we go. There's the wind. Alright, crystals. There we go. That should be the singing crystals. Fissure. Alright. Water. Alright, and clock. That should be it. And the door opens. And down we go. Alright. We're almost out of the Selenitic Age. We got one last puzzle. Yeah, we can take a look around this thing now. Go all the way around. Little submarine. Little cave explorer. Operates on rails. Alright. Forward we go. And here's where those sounds from Mechanical Age come back into play. Press this button, you'll hear the sound. So ding, that's telling us to go north. And the way this is designed too is that even if you haven't been to Mechanical Age yet, this is still set up to give you single directions with only one available option to start, so that you can figure out what sound is what direction. Because at the end, they start giving you dual sounds. You gotta go in kind of a diagonal direction. You know, not just the four cardinals. Right now we're doing okay. See, it's blocked. So now we got to turn a different direction. That was the sproing. So we need to go west. And see, it's open to us now. So forward we go. And this is what's annoying about past versions of this game is you have to do this twice if you want to 100% complete the game. If you want to get both the red and the blue, you have to do this twice. Alright, so west again. West again. This might be one of the randomized answers. Because I feel like it would tell us a little bit more by now. We'd have more twists and turns by now. Otherwise. Alright, so ding, so go north again, which we're already facing. Ding again. Okay, that's not too bad. So far we've only had to turn once. I feel like this is definitely randomized. Okay, hiss, so that's east, which we're already facing. So just keep going forward. I swear if it ends up being that easy. Nope, we're gonna have to turn. That was a hiss and a ding, so that means going northeast. Hiss and a ding again. So continue forward to the northeast. And we've arrived. So yes, that is definitely randomized. That is not the original answer. Alright, we've arrived at our location. The MYST book lies ahead. In the heart of the geothermal expanse. And we've got what appears to be the final pages. You know, it's the last age of MYST to explore, so let's go ahead and turn them in.